Hey, I'm Mike Sully. I'm a game designer here at 2-Bit Circus. I was the designer on Space Squad in Space, which is a story room for 4 to 6 people. You take control of a spaceship, and together you have to figure out how to turn it on, how to fly it, and how to complete a mission. My role as the game designer of Space Squad was to figure out what the game was about and how to make it fun and fair and a good experience for a whole 20 minutes. Building something as big as a story room, I had to work with a lot of different departments, about 15 people in total. There were industrial designers, electrical engineers, programmer, artist, writer, producer, and myself as game designer. Doing research for this project was a lot of fun because I basically watched 10 to 15 hours of sci-fi movies and shows and got paid to do it. Space Squad has evolved a lot in the year that we've been developing it. When we first started, I would call the first game almost like Flappy Spaceship. Your goal was to basically take the ship through warp gate rings without crashing into them, and you had to kind of adjust your elevation. And that was my first concept for the game, and we built a prototype of that in about a week or two, got people playing it, and what we found was, well, it wasn't very immersive. There wasn't much of a story to it, but there were some fun parts, like when people would yell at each other, pull up the ship, no, we have to go down. And that kind of crosstalk, that frantic energy, when I saw that, I was like, that's really fun. One Steam concept that I think is really important for me developing Space Squad, or really any game, is the scientific method when trying to find and fix errors and bugs. Like, something that would happen to us pretty regularly is we have one station in there where you have to spin a bunch of trackballs, and these trackballs would fail. And whenever they did, basically we would use the scientific method to try and debug it. We would come up with a hypothesis. What do we think is wrong here? Find some experiment to check it, and then see if that fixed the problem. The thing that got me interested in game design from a young age was just making games with my friends. We would play tabletop role-playing games, stuff like D&D or Mordheim, and we would just kind of start making up our own rules, and that was a lot of fun. And I kept doing it kind of as a hobby throughout high school and college, and eventually, when I realized that there was a real career you could make out of this, it seemed like a pretty natural fit. Looking back, something that I wish I had done a bit more of was share the things I made. As a professional game designer, all the time we bring in playtesters, we try the things, we demo the games we make, and we find out if they're good and how we can make them better. And when I was younger, I was pretty secretive about my work. I was, don't look, it's not finished. And I wish I had done a bit more sharing and got others' feedback on it sooner, because I think both I could have made better things, and also when they were good, more people would have known about it. If there's one thing I've learned working at 2-Bit Circus, it's to always stay curious about everything, because there's always more to learn and discover and explore, and it's really fun to do that. So thank you for coming out to 2-Bit Circus Micro Amusement Park today, and I hope you have fun in the park. Cheers!